Welcome to another edition of False Nine. Today we are being recorded on a Wednesday night, day of the second Copa America semifinals, due to scheduling conflicts, but we should be back live next Thursday for all of the information you are waiting for on Inter Miami. This False Nine is brought to you by Kendall Sports Network. Please tune in to our other shows Monday if you're looking for Dolphins news, the Dolphin Chronicles, and tomorrow, Friday, we will be dropping a new episode of This Week in Miami. That show will also start airing live sometime soon. But first and foremost, Mr. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay considering all the happenings that have been occurring in the last, I want to say, week and a half since our last live show. I feel like it's been a roller coaster of emotions, up, down. I feel like the whole
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
blood code, up, down, AB, just everything
Mhm,
being hit in terms of
mhm,
emotional buttons.
mhm. I
So,
feel you.
yeah, last time we spoke live, because we did miss one show, we got a few games to recap.
Mhm.
Inter Miami beat Nashville 2-1. Just a quick recap on how the score came about.
Ian Frey again on the score sheet off a corner. He's been really playing well for this team. A player that we highlighted in the beginning of the season, making an impact when needed. Scored off a corner. Julian Gressel, who's been phenomenal these last 5 games, um, crossed it perfectly, and he was on the end of it, and we're up 1-0. And then Jordi Alba gets us doubled up off a volley, chested down, picks his head up, picks out the back corner, and goalie has nothing to do with it. Can't touch it. Can't do anything. We're up 2-0. Nashville got a penalty towards the end of the game, but we were able to hold off and see 3 points on the road.
Yeah, three very important points. That led us into, I believe it was a midweek showdown. No,
When was
Charlotte was
Charlotte?
a
Charlotte was a midweek, was a Wednesday because we played
yes,
Saturday against Cincy.
yes. Okay, so Charlotte a midweek matchup, another 2-1 victory.
Yeah, 2-1 victories were the mantra of this team. In those games that we didn't have Messi. Another really tough team, really good defensive team in Charlotte, and we come out with a victory. Credit to Robert Taylor and to Ben Hakanamowski for getting those goals, but it was tough. That Charlotte team really po- uh, created a lot of problems for us. Sorry, just because they're so physically gifted and use that physicality that they have to their advantage with Ajiman as their striker, and they have Elliot Bronico on there. So it was just a tough game for Miami, but 2-1 victory on the road again, and that's what we needed.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that striker's name, but he
Ah,
was he's a hand. I mean, good lord, he's
yeah,
just
he's
physical, fast. Just
yeah. I mean, their two center backs are very physical as well, and credit that we found 2 goals off it.
he reminds me a little bit of um, a guy who once had a lot of promise for the U.S. men's national team and for a Florida team. Reminded me a little bit of a little bit faster Daryl Dike in terms
Okay.
of just size and physicality and his ability
Yeah,
to just he's just
it
a
can.
beast.
Yeah, he is.
That led us into, good lord, the Saturday game against FC Cincinnati. After getting 6 points Saturday and Wednesday, we matched up with the team that was on our heels in second place in the East. We were barely holding them off. I believe we were a point up. Um, Big game. It was a good chance for the team to prove themselves, and then they threw up over them all over themselves.
I mean, for the first 35 minutes, we were up for it, and then the wheels kind of fell off. Um, but no, Cincinnati, very very good team. Supporter Shield winners last year. Luciano Acosta is Mighty Mouse, as you've called him before.
Yes.
He's very very talented. Their entire team is talented. Um, but They were playing very under par, subpar, I would say, at home. They were very good on the road, but this team also had won 11 out of like 13 games coming into the Inter Miami game. So we were going to get their best shot. So let's not react, irrational or anything like that. That we could have for this first 35 minutes we held with them. We tied the game off a corner with Sergei Kristov after they took the lead with Kubo scoring. But after that, their pace just, had Kristoff and Busquets were the center back pairings that game. They could not keep up with Orellano, with Assad, with anyone. Luciano Acosta was picking up the ball and just running freely out of defense, and it was 4-1 at halftime. And when you're down 4-1 at half, you're not going to beat a team like Cincinnati, especially at home in a supporter shield race. They kind of took it to us.
Dare I say a DeAndre Yedlin revenge game?
I mean, he was on the field.
By the way, happy birthday to DeAndre Yedlin. I know the show is airing on a Thursday, but it's being recorded on a Wednesday, and it's his birthday on Wednesday. So a happy birthday to DeAndre Yedlin, a captain for Inter Miami for
2 years.
2 years, right?
2 years.
Yeah,
year and a half, 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2-year captainship, which deserves recognition. But yes, a 6-1 drubbing of our team. But an off week this week, and then great news on the horizon as we get players that were away at Copa America back into the fold. Those players are Suarez, Messi.
That's it.
Just Suarez and Messi.
That's all. Those are the two biggest players, Suarez and Messi.
Yeah, the two biggest scoring guns. The final being played at Hard Rock, which could have been played at Chase Stadium, but realistically, attendance just would not let that happen. But Messi back in Miami. My money is on Suarez also being back in Miami. So as those two teams fly everywhere where they're coming from, those two get to sleep in their own bed and stay home. But with good news, there comes bad news. What is the bad news?
I mean, bad news ain't kind of good news because we're happy for these players, but bad because the selfish in us and wants them to stay and stay and play with us. But 3 big time midfielders for us. Ben Hekramowski got called up to the U.S. Olympic team. Diego Gomez will most likely be captaining the Paraguay team that he took him to the tournament. And Fede Redondo will be an alternate on Argentina's Olympic team. So 3 very, very, very skilled midfielders will be leaving us. But we are left with quality midfielders in Busquets, Ruiz. And I say quality for the MLS. Ruiz is quality for the MLS to some extent. Yannick Bright, Julian Gresso. We got Matias Rojas is back.
When his head is in the game, Ruiz.
Of course. We got Matias Rojas back. So that's good news in itself.
Matias was
with Paraguay. He got eliminated. He got grouped.
Right.
I believe he got grouped in the Copa America. Yeah, he didn't play this past weekend, but we should expect to see him back soon. And quickly, Facundo Farias is running again.
Right, he had that torn ACL in one of the preseason games. Okay, so that's good news. It's welcome firepower that this team needs at a time where they're going to be losing 3 of them to the Olympics. What would be the expectation in terms of him coming back? A couple weeks?
Matias Rojas?
No.
Or Facundo Farias? Later down the road. He tore his ACL. I mean, he's running. Doesn't really mean much. He's got to be able to cut, move laterally, all that stuff before we get into thinking of when he can start coming back. But it's good to see him running again.
Okay. Well, we're losing Gomez, like you said, captaining Paraguay. Redondo being the alternate on talented Argentina team. And then Benjamin Kremaski going to Team USA. Controversy broke with Team USA as the Olympic roster was named. Although we are happy that Inter Miami's very own Benjamin Kremaski made it, there was big controversy with a player that was omitted from that roster.
Yeah, that player is Diego Luna from Real Salt Lake, who's having a fantastic season, in my opinion. He's really picked it up as of late in the recent weeks, and he's just been really good with Chicho Arango. And for him not to be on that team is a letdown, I would say.
Well, he'll deny it, but roster gets named. He played on Saturday, and I think that he made, I would say that he made a slight statement.
I think
I believe it was 3 assists and a goal.
he had, I want to say, 3 goal contributions or 4. I can't remember. I don't really remember what Real Salt Lake's result was at the weekend, but he did have something to say about it. Another player wasn't on it was Brian Gutierrez. So I don't think Brandon Vasquez made it.
No, I did not see Brandon Vasquez. Let me see here. It was for Real Salt Lake. Did they? Here we go. It was a 5-2 victory, and Diego Luna had a goal. And I'm going to see statistics.
I'd say I would say like 2 assists. I know he assisted Chicho once. I don't remember if it was the second time.
I want to say it was 3 assists.
And a goal?
But I think it was a goal and 3 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember seeing on ESPN the fact that he had made such a big, a goal and 3 assists against Atlanta United, kind of showing up the U.S. Soccer Federation that has not had a good
2
a good
weeks.
month, I would say.
Good month. Yeah.
Good month.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah.
Given that omission and given those that were named to the roster, I believe there were 3 over 23 players: Walker Zimmerman, Miles Robinson. I forget the third.
Gianluca Buscio is not a senior team member. Who was the other one?
Whatever the case may be, there were 3. And I'll look it up. But what are your expectations for this team at the Olympics? What would be a reasonable, where should we put our bar in terms of a reasonable expectation to be satisfied with this team? And where does that bar stand as far as being happy with the team?
I mean, man, it's hard to put a feel for this team, but we play our first game against France, and it may not be
Mm-hmm.
pretty. You, I'm gonna say make it out of the group.
Okay,
For the
so our expectation, satisfaction should be don't get grouped.
given everything that's gone on, yeah, don't get grouped. It's I know it's like very easy to say, but come on, man. After seeing what we did in the Copa America, how could you not? Yeah, so we play France. Look, we play France, Zambia, New Zealand, and Germany. Oh, that's women's. Whoops. Hold on. I have it here.
Zambia is a really good team.
Are you joking or are you actually telling the truth?
Zambia is a really good team.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of their young players. Okay, so we play France.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the women play Zambia. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
We
no. I don't know
we
anything about the women's Zambia team,
okay,
but
we play New Zealand
Rio
and
Zambia's men youth team is
mhm,
amazing.
and then we play Guinea. You have to make it out of the group. You have to. It's imperative. Yeah, you make it out of the group. The only team you should have trouble with is France.
Is Mihailovic over 23?
Yeah, he's on it. That's the other one.
Okay, just making
So
sure.
yeah, it's Jordy, Miles Robinson, as you said, and Walker Zimmerman. Which
Okay,
really you could have left Mihailovic home. I mean, wow.
I think a lot of fans were we're having that same reaction. And I feel that ESPN really gave Luna a raw deal.
Hmm.
I mean, he was given the choice of being an alternate. He declined,
Hmm.
given his treatment, given his relationship with the US Soccer Federation. I don't see that as a surprise, and I don't blame the kid.
Hmm.
Um, I think if added to this roster, I think he is bar none the best forward we have um, on the roster, as the other ones are Paxton
Duncan, yeah.
Aronson, Taylor Booth,
Taylor Booth
Duncan
is very
McGuire.
underrated. He's a very good player, I think.
Yeah,
Duncan
Duncan
McGuire. Yeah,
McGuire
I would have switched out Duncan McGuire.
and Kevin Paredes and Griffin Yao.
And there's no Kate Cole too.
Right. I think that those guys, I don't know why there is a disconnect between guys with creative talent and this US men's national team.
Hmm.
They often opt for very God, and I hope his influence is gone. But we'll get into that later. They go for very non-creative players, in
Uh,
my opinion. When they see creativity, it's almost as if it scares them. This Allen Iverson run amok, doesn't listen to the coaching kind of scare into the U.S. Federation. Okay, so satisfaction is getting out of the group. What would be
okay, I would.
happiness?
I'm gonna retract my statement out of satisfaction. Quarterfinal. Make the quarters because I saw the group and there's no reason you don't get out of it.
Okay, so quarterfinals.
Hmm.
So get out of the group, get into the
And
round of
win the round of
16.
16 and make the quarterfinal with that
Okay,
group because then you really start to see like the talent level of your Spain, Germany's, and the other teams that are in there.
okay. So satisfaction is quarterfinals.
Hmm.
Happiness.
Happiness, semifinals.
Okay, so one win is the difference there.
Yeah,
Okay,
with this group, I think yeah.
okay. Now that leads into my prior statement. I really hope his influence is gone. I'm really tired of seeing our U.S. men's national team and it
Hmm.
the tactic trickle down of let's not be creative. Let's just run down the sides and just kick it to the middle and hope and pray somebody does something with it. I got tired of it. I think it has no place in this game with the talent level we have on the senior team. Greg Berhalter, get off my lawn. Your thoughts?
I mean, I've been Greg Berhalter get off my lawn for a long. I never wanted him hired. Never.
I agree. After the horrendous World Cup we
No,
had,
it's not even that. It's that he had no merit or he hadn't done anything to be to warrant the job. He had pull in the U.S. Soccer Federation
his brother.
yeah, come on. And he was not a winning. He didn't do anything in Columbus. He had nothing. So
In fact, he leaves and Columbus wins a cup.
he never warranted that position. He did nothing to deserve it.
So the USA comes into this Copa America,
Hmm.
high expectations. Everyone expects them either to finish second in the group for sure,
Hmm.
or the slight chance of them winning the group.
Yeah,
Um, if you're a fan of soccer and you saw those games, oof. I mean, they had their moments, but that team so badly underachieved, especially against Panama.
yeah. And you know, people are gonna say, "Oh, it's we were down 10 men. Oh, this. Oh, that." It's Panama. I don't care who you are when it comes to the US. If you want to be taken seriously and win big tournaments and stuff like that, oh, and say, oh, we can play with the big boys and this and that, you have to beat Panama, especially after going 1-0 up with after you get a red card.
No, I'm 100% with you. And after that Panama loss, and then the loss
Hmm.
against Uruguay, which I think it was correctly portrayed, that's loser mentality. When right before the free kick where Uruguay scored, Greg Berhalter is very clearly seen telling the group that it. I don't know if you can see it's 1-1.
Yeah. Hmm.
Someone is helping us. When your focus should be forget who's helping us. How about we win the game in front of us? Um,
Yeah.
and honestly, the fans after those results were clamoring for the fans were clamoring for a Greg Berhalter fire way before that. I just feel that the media got on board with that fan sentiment after this tournament.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was I mean, for me, it was a long time coming. Should have never been in this situation, honestly. The guy has no business managing this team. He has no business managing another high level quality national team, CONCACAF national team, MLS team. That guy can go coach PE for all I care. He has no tactical input in what he's doing. Um, just the level of play just drops down when he's there. He can't motivate me to make a sandwich. I mean, there's nothing that he brings to the table that I want in the U.S. Soccer Federation to be the coach of this team going into the biggest 2 years of their window
Listen, if
to
this
compete.
man, if my kid's school hired him as a PE teacher, I'm changing schools. That's how bad it is. With the firing, clearly the coaching search
Is under
begins.
it. We hope. We hope.
Yeah, I don't know that I can count on this
You
federation to
can't
get anything
say that.
right.
Yeah, I don't know how much faith I'd have in them. Because
I'm gonna throw out a few
if it,
names.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna throw out a name before you say the two name or before you say
No,
a
no,
couple of names.
I'm gonna throw out names, and you
Okay.
tell me what your thoughts are. And if I miss this person, you can tell me.
Okay.
The most disastrous, the most atrocious, in my opinion, choice this federation can make. And to be honest, because it is the most disastrous and most atrocious choice they can make, I feel it is going to be the most likely selection.
Don't say it. I
Steve
think I.
Sharundalo.
God bless America. You said it, bro. I will punt everything into the. I will send them to the moon. Why? Why? I don't want another MLS guy, man. I do not want another MLS dude.
Despite his success at LAFC?
Despite the success of it's not that hard when you have Dennis Bouanga, Giorgio Chiellini, Gareth Bale, Carlos Vela, and all those guys playing for you. All right, when you have talent in the MLS, you can win and you can win quickly. You saw it with Miami; they got Messi and we won the League's Cup. Talent prevails a lot of the times. I don't want that guy in a federation in the coaching pool as a thought. Please no.
Okay. So the next name, and what seems to be um, the hottest name, the impossible name. Um,
Hmm.
you have a lot of history with this man.
Talk to me.
You know him
Talk to me.
very well.
I know who you're saying.
And this man's name is Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah,
Tell me.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Give him the state of Texas. Give him whatever salary that guy wants. Let him live in Disney World. Give him Taylor Swift tickets. I don't know. Move him into wherever he wants. Bring
Okay,
that man here.
why? And
I love the guy.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't be a dream hire. My
No, of course.
question is, outside of being a dream
Yeah,
hire,
yeah.
what would he bring to this team?
I think his style of play would benefit this team very, very much. That high press, counterattacking, in your face type of football. Um, Remember, he did it with Liverpool for 9 years, and we with Bobby. I'm not just using him as height reference, not talent, obviously, but Salah, Firmino, Mane were not the tallest, most physically gifted front three. We don't
Okay,
have the tallest, most physically gifted front three, but they won a Champions League and they won, you know, the the league. Not saying their talent level is equal at all, but the
right.
style of play can be similar to what you can bring in from Liverpool to what you can bring into the U.S. men's national team.
Okay. The next name, um, although I think that um this this guy is not on the radar, he has shown some interest in the job before. I don't even think he got an interview, to be honest, but he's shown a want to coach this team, and
Uh,
that's Thierry Henry.
yeah, I just don't think you gonna. That's such a tough one. I think being an assistant on Roberto Martinez Belgium teams. Now he's the head coach of France's Olympic team. I don't know if he wants to leave the French Federation to come here. It's a name that I would want or I would entertain. I would obviously give him an interview. Um, let's see what he does in this tournament. Maybe the U.S. finds something they like in him and they go for and give him an interview and give him a chance.
So I'll counter you with this. He had a stint in MLS,
Well, okay, yeah, you're right
and
with
it wasn't
Montreal.
great.
Yeah,
I think it was with Toronto, right?
Montreal. Well,
Montreal, and
yeah.
it wasn't great.
Mhm.
So, what would be the difference between Sharandalo and Henry?
I
And then I'm
want.
going to give you one name after that as well.
Okay. For me, I just think the experience of coaching outside of the MLS that Henri has now is benefited more than Cherundolo's experience in the MLS.
Okay. The last name I'm going to throw out is Wilfred Nancy.
Hmm.
Your thoughts on him?
Some say he's the best coach in the. Most say he's the best coach in the MLS. Honestly, dude, I think I'm done with the MLS agenda with coaches and stuffing them down our throats and players stuffing them down our throats for the national team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's a very good coach. We know that. We see that with Columbus. Um, I just very hard for me to wrap my head around, this team bringing another MLS guy in with the talent. I'm not going to deny that we have talent on this team. Our starting 11 all play outside in Europe. Um, I just you need someone of higher quality, I think. And the MLS, is not the highest quality league. Um, and bringing a coach from there, I don't think is going to elevate that quality. Even though
Okay.
I know BJ Callahan had a tremendous stint, I just think it was just the players are never gonna say it. No one's ever gonna say it internally, but I think it was just the players needed a fresh start, to say the least, and just free-minded football for that time that he took over for those 2 games. I don't know
You
if it was
think
gonna
they
be
got too
lot.
comfortable?
I, they might have gotten too comfortable, and then you realize when Berhalter came back that just the system just changed. It was the same thing over and over and one. But
No, I'm
I
talking about,
think
do you think the players got too comfortable with Berhalter in charge?
I just think they didn't care enough with Berhalter couldn't get it out of them. There was nothing like there was a system, didn't really fit them. Like they're not gonna say it, but they backed him and stuff. But I don't believe that a lot. You can see it in the faces at times. Um, it just I don't think it was a good situation to bring him back, and it affected the mentality of the team.
Okay. Would you be okay with any blast from the past?
Like Klinsman or who's another guy that you
Bradley or Arena?
do not send Bradley here. Do not send Bruce Arena here. Arena failed to. I would not take Klinsman. They both failed to qualify us. We couldn't beat Trinidad on a cow pasture. So thank you very much. Those guys' times are done. You didn't mention Pellegrino Matarazzo.
Not yet. There's a few names before I got to him because
Damn
he's
it.
the guy I want.
Okay, I kind of
Okay?
jumped the gun, but he's a guy
You
that
sure the hell did.
he's a little bit right after Klopp. There's that guy.
Okay, because I was
But
gonna throw out
I'll let you talk about him. But let's get to the other names you had.
Irv Reynard.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia. Is he in
Uh
Saudi? Yeah,
um
yeah.
no, didn't he
Iran, no,
coach
Saudi.
he coached
Come
the
on, man.
women's team? Didn't he coach the was the French women?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, man. Hold on. I got Yeah, he's a manager of the French women's national team.
There you go.
He was a
And then I
Saudi
think
Arabia coach he was
he
a
took
Saudi
over an
Arabia coach.
African team too. No?
He had Morocco from 2016 to 2019, but then he had Saudi Arabia from 2019 to 2023.
You mean the team that surprised Argentina?
Yep, yep, he was the manager of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm interested. I'm listening. He's probably gonna, if we're being realistic, he's a top 5 candidate or a top 5 name I would entertain for this job.
Okay. The last name before I get to
Your
Pellegrino.
boy.
Joachim Low.
Is he really on the list?
I don't care about the U.S. men's national team list.
You're
I
just
threw him out
naming.
there. What
You
is
threw
your
him.
thoughts on him? Huh?
I mean, no one can discredit a World Cup winning manager. I mean, he's got the pedigree. He's got all the accolades. He's been away from the game for a little bit. Shouldn't have any problems, and putting in his game plans and stuff.
That's why I chose the name.
It's just, do they really want to come back? Do they want to unretire per se and accept the job that is it's a hot seat job just because it's an American national team, and you know how our fans get. Not saying that they get crazier than European fans, but there's a lot of wanting to show results after the poor performance, and you got to show it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And you should, because you're in CONCACAF with the best team outside of Canada. Canada and the US are the 2 best teams in CONCACAF.
Yes, with Mexico
So
a distant third.
you put, yeah, yeah. I'll put Jamaica ahead of no, I'm not. I'm lying. Mexico is a very distant third. Very,
Right.
very distant third.
And I'll tell you what, I put on the same level as Mexico right now. I'll put that Panama team on there.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
there's a few names that I don't think merit any interest because I just don't think they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea retread, now coach of Borussia. No, is it Bayern or Borussia? Tuchel?
No. Thomas Tuchel.
Uh-huh.
He's at Bayern.
Okay. Him, I've seen his name, have no interest. And the old Bayern coach,
Hansi Flick.
yes. Wait, Hansi Flick is the German national team coach, right?
No, it's Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann. Okay, yeah, Hansi Flick, yes. 2 names I don't think are coming. I would show no interest for. I just think
Another name that's been thrown out there from the MLS pool is Jim Curtin. Do not send me Jim Curtin. Thank you very much. He can stay in Philadelphia.
I discarded his name because he was an MLS coach.
There you go. I don't want him. I'm telling you, you can discard every MLS coach. I don't want them.
Agreed. And then the last guy.
BJ Callahan just took a job at Nashville.
Right.
Not. Yeah, so he's not.
Right. So now the name I want, Pellegrino.
Tell me about him.
He is an American coach with non-American culture, non-American ways. He is everything we want in a American coach that is non-American. I think he is the coach at, oh my God, Schalke or not Schalke.
You're close.
I know.
They're blue.
I know. Is it Hertha?
Nope.
Lifeline here because
Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim. Yes.
He took the job at Hoffenheim a year ago. He was at Stuttgart before.
Right. Yes. Okay. Hoffenheim. Amazing job. Just completely under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
I think has the most pedigree of any American that we've seen, even though Jesse March just got the Canada job and apparently he was the biggest pedigree. I disagree. I think it's always been this guy. Very underrated, very unknown almost. But if I had my choice, this is the guy I would want with your top two being 2 and 3 for me.
Okay. I mean, those guys that we said being top three in general. I mean, I don't you I don't know who wants the job, who's gonna take it. I just hope the U.S. make the right choice and actually do their due diligence this time.
I'm gonna go one more for you. Would you be okay if tomorrow they said Patrick Vieira got the job?
Yes, I wanted Patrick Vieira before.
I agree. I think Patrick Vieira would be a really good choice for this
I
team.
think he did a decent job, middle of the table
At
job at
Crystal,
Crystal
correct?
Palace. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll bring him in.
He's got history with one of our players as well. Oh,
Oh,
I apologize for that.
is that Patrick Vieira telling you he's coming?
I wish it was. I don't have that kind of insider. Last piece of news, sir.
Boy,
We need to get you an invite to the Inter Miami Media soccer game. We need to do everything in our power to go ahead and get you credentialed. We need a little bit of KSN in blood into that game.
on the pitch.
Absolutely. We need, what we want is for you to defend uh, one of the best riders in the game, and Miss Michelle Kaufman, defend her honor and just slide tackle and get
Two
red
footer,
cards on everybody.
absolute
Everybody.
Brexit studs up Brexit tackle.
Yes, 100%. We must defend the great Michelle Kaufman at all costs.
Sunday.
And even if it means taking out Fernando Fiore, um, sacrifices have to be made.
You
Um,
let me know. I'm there. I'll do it.
I think that's all we have for this week's false nine. Anything else you want to add, or anything else you want to talk about, Mark?
No, Inter Miami have 11 days, a week off. I don't think Messi plays in the next game, but look for Matias Rojas and possibly Suarez, depending on what happens today. So let's see.
I don't think Suarez has gotten many minutes in the Copa America that I've seen.
No, no, I think he's just there, as a farewell type of thing. So
Right. So
he should be ready to play once he returns.
right. Um, did remember, guys, recorded show here on Wednesday, playing on a Thursday night at our regular time, 7:30. Next week we will have a live show at 7:30. Please tune in to This Week in Miami tomorrow on a recorded show. It should be live the Friday after that. Dolphin Chronicles on Mondays. That should be a live show as well. So Mark, where can they find you?
Right there.
Right there. Find him there on X. You can find me at Paramount Pete on X as well. For Kendall Sports Network and False Nine. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you Thursday.